Next time. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our demo day for the spring 2021 season. And as usual, let me invite Bernard Yvetot, the CEO of Orange Japan, to give you the welcome message. Please, Bernard.
Yes, thank you, Hiroshi. So I'm very pleased to welcome you to the autumn demo day or spring demo day, I don't know. And for Orange, it's very important to build relationships with all the startups in the ICT sector that are developing in Far East Asia. And so we are very pleased to have this new event today, and I hope that you will enjoy it also and have a very good presentation. I hope everything is doing well for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bernard. And maybe let me introduce myself. I forgot to do that. My name is Hiroshi Nishikawa. I'm in charge of Orange Fab Asia Tokyo program. And today I'm the host of this event. And before going to the pitch session, maybe some other people is joining later. So I will explain briefly about Orange Fab Asia program. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen? Okay, let me introduce Orange Fab Asia. So first, who is Orange? Maybe some of you don't know much about Orange. So Orange is one of the largest telecom operators in Europe and Africa. And we have consumer service, B2C service in 26 countries, mainly in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And we also have a B2B service in 220 countries and territories. That means almost everywhere in the world. And Orange Fab launched in 8 years ago in the US and expanded to other countries. And now we have 18 countries, and actually it's increasing more. So it's going to be 19 or 20 soon. And in Asia, we have the program in the 3 countries, Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. And we have the program 2 seasons per year. And in Asia, we are mainly focusing on supporting startups to go global market by providing mentoring from experts and also help business developments by connecting with Orange and our corporate partners. And we also provide a lot of opportunities to demonstrate your innovation, like demo days like today, or sponsoring many other events globally. And so far, we have had 14 seasons in Asia, and more than 200 startups joined in our program. And 10 startups actually exit, and around $1 billion fundraised in total. So we also have a corporate partners, which also support you in various ways. And we organize the demo day every season, so twice a year. And before the pandemic, we had a physical event like this in Tokyo, Seoul, and Taipei. And not only in the 3 countries, we help Asian startups to go global. For example, one of the event is Viva Technology in Paris. In 2019, 2 years ago, 11 Asian startups exhibited at Orange booth. And at the same time, 13 startups from Orange Fab Asia pitched to our colleagues in Paris. And this year, VivaTech was held hybrid, and it was a bit difficult for Asian startups to visit to Paris. So 6 startups from Asia participated by online, so 2 from each countries. And not only VivaTech, we also give many opportunities for startups to exhibit it, like a Mobile World Congress in Barcelona and Web Summit in Lisbon and InnoFest Unbound in Singapore. We sponsored the event for 5 years. So I hope we can sponsor the event next year to visit physically. And also our colleagues in China organized the China tour to visit 4 cities in China. And we had a bit smaller version in Australia as well. We visited Sydney with those 5 startups in 2019. And not only in the Asia, Europe, but we also had 2 Asian startups exhibited at the Dakar Digital Show in 2019 in Senegal. And also we organized a pitch competition for the startups outside of the 3 countries, like in Singapore, Australia, and Vietnam. We selected startups from those pitch competition to participate in our demo day in Tokyo or even Vivatech. So unfortunately, we need to move to online, of course, because of the pandemic. But we organized many online events, including our demo days, and also the dedicated topic of events like 5G or social impact. And I hope that we can have at least hybrid event for the next season. And that's how we support startups, providing the many opportunities for partnership, pitch, and demo, and also to provide some knowledge and network and even branding for the startups. That's all. Thank you very much. If you're interested, do not hesitate to contact me or anyone in this event. Thank you. Okay. Oh, the PC is a bit slow now. Okay, I finished screen sharing. And before moving to the pitch session, let me introduce my colleague from Korea, Danny.
Yes. Yeah, my name is Danny Sung-Yong-Han, working for Orange office in Seoul. I'm in charge of Orange Fab Seoul program, as Hiroshi is in charge of Orange Fab Japan, and our colleague Claire Fan is in charge of Orange Fab Thailand. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Today, I think Claire is not available, so let's move to the pitch session. And in the pitch session, we have panels who will ask questions to the startups. So let me invite our panels. First, Ludovic from France.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ludovic from the Orange Fab France. I'm working on international business development for this network of 19 fab now. There is one more than the map that you show, and it's in Africa. And I'm here to assist startup that wants to go international and connect other Orange branches around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Before moving to the next panel, I just found Claire in this screen, so let me invite Claire first. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Nice meeting you here. I'm Claire Fan, in charge of Orange Fab Taipei program.
Okay, good. And the next panel is Lucas from Poland.
Hi, hello. My name is Lucas. I'm exactly from Orange Fab in Poland. I'm very pleased to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. And Spike?
All right, thanks, Hiroshi. Hi, I'm Spike. I'm based out of Singapore. I'm part of the Orange Business Services under the Digital Business Consulting. My focus is on innovation and services that are potentially beneficial to our APAC customers, this would be some of the areas that I would be very interested to bring into the APAC ecosystem for Orange. Thank you.
Thank you. And Yao?
Hello, my name is Lu Yao, Director of Innovation at Orange Open Innovation Center in China. So I'm currently based in Beijing and together in the meeting room with my colleagues. Very glad to be here in the demo day. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, those 4 panels will ask questions after the pitch of the startup. But for audience, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave your comments or any questions on the chat pane you can see on the right, so that you can maybe some of the startups can reply to you by chat or at the booth. Okay, thank you, Danny, for the banner. And okay, let's start the pitch. So let me invite Attuned. Hi, Casey.
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Casey. I'm the founder here of Attune.ai. So we are a psychology-backed SaaS platform, and we are now starting to go global quite strongly. We're focused on the enterprise, and what we do is all about intrinsic motivation. So we're 95% psychology. It's kind of deep tech on the psychology spot. We have more psychologists on our team than a typical Japanese hospital. We're growing very well with major logos in Japan, and now we're getting some big logos internationally. So excited to be here, and I think here's the video, and I'm happy to answer questions afterwards. Attuned. So what we are is intrinsic motivation software, and we're creating a new category. So it's really deep psychology delivered in a SaaS model. And now we're actually raising our Series A, so if you're interested, please come talk to us afterward. So we found early product market fit. It's focused mainly on the enterprises, but actually our use case is quite horizontal. Now let me just show you the product. So we have our own proprietary assessment to find out people's intrinsic motivation. So the absolute key to this is it's not a personality test. Many people are used to seeing personality test, and this is not a personality test. It simply shows what is people's motivation, what is their driver for work. And we're one of the first to do this online, so you can visually see it and interact with it. So here's mine. This is what drives me. So on the right-hand side, you can see what I would need from a manager or what I would need for my environment to be really motivated to go to work. And you can also see what I don't need. So I'm not doing this for money, right? I don't need a lot of feedback. Now, this is the key point, because it's not looking at behavior. It's not looking at skills. It's not looking at personality. So I can accept feedback. I appreciate it. I understand it helps me grow, but it's not, again, what drives me for work. Now, when we're dealing with customers, when we have a manager or director, usually they're in their 40s, 50s, or 60s, that they're the champion to buy this. They unlock this and they say, aha, now I understand why I didn't really like that last role. Maybe I had high rationality needs, but my manager wasn't giving in that way. And people get this self-awareness. So that's the first step in their journey with Attune. And then the second step is when they see somebody else on their team. So this is a member of our team. She's absolutely fantastic, but she has different motivations than me. So her security needs are quite high. Financial needs are quite high. Status is quite high. So these are almost the opposite for me. So when companies can see the difference of somebody visualize. So I've visualized it right here for this member, where we have opposite motivations. And really what we're studying is the opposite values, the opposite value hierarchy for work. This is when you have misunderstanding, you don't communicate very well, and now we can visualize it. And the system gives the communication tips to help each of us deepen our relationship. So it really builds that Shinrai-kan. So the journey with Attuned is through psychological safety. So when people become managers, usually they manage in the way that is most natural to them. But Attune shows you, okay, what are your blind spots? How do you communicate and understand somebody very different than you? And this is what the system does. So it leads to the inclusion part of things. Now, where we're helping enterprises is because enterprises are struggling in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. You know, they need to be agile, they need to be moved quickly, but they have to engage employees. You know, they have to have deep psychological safety, and many struggle. So many organizations, especially here in Japan, they're going from a very hierarchical, top-down leadership style, and that worked for execution in the past. But to create new innovation, they need to be more independent. And what they have to do is on the right side, they have to manage in a different way. But managers don't often have this capability, right? And this market where we're getting budgets from a lot of companies, to help them with new managers, to help with faster onboarding, to help with executive leadership is a massive market. And a lot of it is in online. So we're taking kind of that online component, and they spend big money on executive leadership training. Now we can help organizations across all sizes and stages, and really to help managers understand their employees more deeply. Now the journey is self-awareness, then it's to understand different members, and then it's to give nudges and communication tips to go towards psychological safety. So this is the path, and we can help companies go higher. Now, where we are in our development, we've just won one of Japan's largest HR Tech Award. We're also up for winning the grand prize for Japan's largest HR award. So we've been on CNN, Al Jazeera, so we're getting all these things. So there's a lot of different macro trends coming for us. Hybrid work, companies moving to innovation, recognition of the importance of the individual, new generations entering the workforce. Now we have deep psychology here. We've got first mover advantage, and we're growing well. So our numbers are up and to the right. We're going up almost to $1 million in ARR. Our net revenue retention is strong. Our number of users is going up. We have big name companies from Hitachi Systems to Dwango, and it's a land and expand, but we have a lot of global opportunity. We've got a great team that's growing very, very well, deep psychologists. We'd love to speak to you more. Again, we're raising our Series A. This was Attuned.
Okay. Thank you for playing the video, Danny. Some problems with my PC probably. But anyway, any questions from panels?
Actually, I have a couple of questions. If you don't mind, I'll go first.
Yep.
Hi, Casey. Spike here.
Hi, Spike.
From Singapore. Yeah. So I understand that you mentioned that your motivator reports are not about behaviors, but you are essentially still trying to determine some kind of a value or attitude, right, towards the job itself. Now, I'm trying to understand if a person change jobs or if their circumstances shift, do they have to constantly retake this motivation assessment?
So the answer is once a year, basically. So what we're looking at is people's values for work. So it's really a stack ranking of their value hierarchy. And this doesn't shift too quickly. So like values are the deepest part of the psychological profile. So you have behaviors at the top, which are visual, personality, which you can kind of see, and then values deeper. Values are mostly set in our developing years, in our teenagers, our kind of early 20s. But if we have a big life event, like changing an environment or then values can shift. They're not everything's going to shift, something a little bit. So to stay on the pulse, to understand what's going on with your own self-awareness, or if you're getting new members in, we have once a year we recommend. Anything, in between that isn't going to see major shifts for the most part, and is not kind of worth taking on that side. But I think one other thing that you brought up is, it's not about behaviors, but we are trying to change behaviors, right? It's about mutual understanding between two very different people. And in my example, I have high rationality needs. The member has low rationality needs. If I go in and debate with her and ask why, she's going to get frustrated all the time. So I need to change my behavior. And that's where the system gives us small nudges using kind of behavior science to try to add the reflection and to change that. So taking the online to offline is the real kind of challenge we have to do over time.
Okay, so the second question relates back to how HR will interpret the results and apply or remedy solutions around it. And it seems like there is no straight cut solution. It's really open to how HR is going to interpret. For example, you said rationality, right? So I'm really thinking, if I'm HR, but I'm not well versed in psychology, what the hell am I going to do with it? What do I do from a policy standpoint? And I would take it that even the managers themselves will struggle to figure out what am I supposed to do next. So how would your company handle this?
So the education component, what you're talking about, is heavy, right? Like, not everybody understands intrinsic motivation. Where does intrinsic motivation end and extrinsic motivation start? And what is the interplay through personality? It's all a little bit complex. Yep. Our prime user is the manager, not necessarily HR. So HR, one of the use cases that they might buy attuned across several divisions is for inclusion. They want, okay, we're doing diversity, which we can see, but we want more inclusion. And inclusion comes from that understanding and the compassion that understanding comes. Or if they want more innovation, then they're looking at it. So where Attune's the most strong is at the team level. So, and actually we resonate a lot with engineers. So almost half of the people that buy are kind of engineering divisions from that. And it gives, a language and a mutual kind of objectivity and science back to something that was, a little bit fuzzy, like the management of people and what is the motivation to do that. But that education component, because we are trying to create a new market, is really one of our biggest things. So we do workshops, we do ongoing one-on-ones with managers. So not only to help them understand the system, but what are the interplays and dynamics going on within their team, and give them tips to do it. So now we're still doing a lot of heavy service addition to do it. And steadily, as we figure things out, okay, this resonates, then we put it into the system. And one of our strengths is a very fast shipping cycle. So every 2 weeks, we're putting out new features.
I see. Actually, the third question is around the revenue model, because it seems like right now the revenue you're getting is primarily around the assessment, right? Somebody takes the test, you charge them per user or something like that. But what would be the future monetization model for you, assuming that your results could also be used by HR consultancy firms, recruitment firms, or any of those other potential adjacent industries where people can use that assessment as part of a recruitment tool or as part of a retention tool?
So actually our pricing, our kind of median pricing right now is $100 a year per user for it. And most of the companies that are buying it are doing it for some sort of cultural change. They want more innovation, they want more inclusion. Psychological safety, where members can feel to raise their own opinion and not feel like they're going to get their heads cut off, is kind of a big part of it. So actually one of the things is we're decoupling. So just doing the assessment where you can pay like $40 or $50 is kind of the next stage of the product. So you can use that in hiring or quick onboarding if you just want to use that feature. But it's the ongoing communication, and how does a busy manager know that they're making progress in psychological safety or inclusion in my team? So we're showing that over time. Okay, the psychological safety is going up, the engagement is going up every 2 or 3 weeks. And because we know pinpoint what manages every individual, no matter the scale of the company, and it really is like a fingerprint, 1 in a million, then we can help make that journey very personalized for the manager. So it's kind of giving like a superpower to a manager that might not have all the skills or might not have all the language, or maybe even not all the interest to do it.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. It's sorry for other panels, but thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Can you return to the audience mode so that I can invite next startup, BPV Solution.
Hi, Hiroshi-san. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Hiroshi-san, and thanks Orange for having us here. Much appreciated. My name's Dharma, and I'm the product director at BPV. So we're an Australian-based company, and we specialize in data engineering for radio networks. Right? So for your background, radio networks, or the RAN as we call it, is that last mile for mobile networks. So it's the part that connects all those telecoms towers that you often see around you to the user with the smartphone. Now, as these networks become more complex, now that 5G is in the picture, they become much more expensive to run. I think that's something we all quite aware of. But what we wanted to present today is why we think human-led AI is really the pathway to figuring out how these networks need to be optimized for the 5G economy. So, and if you have any questions after the slideshow, yeah, feel free. Thanks. So today there are over 800 radio networks around the world. It's a $70 billion market, and Orange has over 20 of these networks. Mobile technology is always evolving, and now we have 5G. 5G was designed to enable a whole bunch of new industries, especially around the Internet of Things, smart cities, augmented reality, and as a consequence, it promises to have a huge positive economic impact. But how does it work on the ground? One of our clients in the gaming space complained that 5G is simply too inconsistent to use augmented reality. They can't get consistent bandwidth or latency. The reality is that 5G quality is fragmented, and not because 5G is still being deployed, but because the ability to deliver that consistent quality everywhere is not that easy and very expensive. As an industry, when we try to improve mobile network quality, we focus on automation. We focus on real time. We focus on machine learning, and sometimes for machine learning's sake. Unfortunately, we stop focusing on the nature of today's problem, which is we don't know what kinds of problems we're going to get. We don't know how complex they're going to be. We won't know what the interdependencies are. And amidst all of that, every network in every country is different. So fundamentally, we believe we have to rethink how we optimize 5G in the RAN. So what we propose is a specific pattern-based approach where we keep humans in the loop and we focus our AI efforts in a very targeted manner. And this we do using our products QNet for analytics and NextG for machine learning. So first, we use radio analytics to get to the core of any problem. That means doing a lot of data engineering, problem visualization, getting all our data together, and getting clear about the problem we want to solve. Then we add a layer of machine learning so we can start labeling patterns within the problem space, trying to see how the dots line up. We start to give the problem a little bit of structure. And finally, we connect these labels using graph technology so we can see the relationships between these different variables, all the good and all the bad. And now we're in a position to take all these bad relationships in the network and replace them with better ones. And that's how we improve the network. Now, the benefit of this decoupled approach, where we split the data engineering, the visualization, the labeling, and the optimization, means it can handle almost any new 5G problem. And that means the financial benefits are really much more achievable. And the side benefit is along the way the telcos participate, they learn, they grow, and they understand their network a lot better. Now today we have a reference with Vodafone Australia. We're engaging in trials with operators in the region. And we're working with gaming companies to optimize 5G from an end user perspective. But what we're most excited about is really the human angle to the 5G story. Now, for most people in the telco industry, 5G is a bit of an adventure. New technology comes out, there are new possibilities. So when it first comes out, we get trained. But as the network evolves, we run into challenges. So we learn new skills to cope with these new types of problems. But the business pressure to automate is high. And when that happens, we slowly appear to be less relevant. And then AI comes in and we start to lose value because apparently AI can do things much better. And this really brings us to the fork in the road. Which direction do we take? Do we let AI lead or do we let humans lead? There's a lot of pressure, no doubt, and hype to let AI guide what we do. But if we take a step back, we find that automation and AI on their own cannot solve most issues. We discover that the secret seems to be using human cognition to help AI find patterns and join the dots. So we now start learning how to train AI systems and learning how to provide context. And eventually, we are in a position to guide AI to help us deliver the things we're looking for in the first place, which is 5G that works for the economy. Thanks very much. Hiroshi-san, is it me or can I not hear you?
Yeah, we don't hear you. I will say a few words, if you mind. So I'm Ludovic. We already talked in the past about your solution, and especially to.
So this is Yao from Orange Open Innovation China.
To Orange in France about 5G. I really believe in your solution, and I think can be a real value for a telco operator. I wanted to apologize about the delay it takes to accede to the team that are in charge of this issue, because as it is the same around the world, all operators are deploying 5G, and the issue we have is. Most of the team are really overdue with many projects, and it's very difficult at the moment to get the attention of these people for new projects. But I will continue fighting about it and getting some answer, and hopefully moving on with this project in Europe with Orange. Thank you.
Thanks, Ludovic. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed our chat last time, and don't worry, we know the lead time, lag time problems very well. So, but thanks again for your support.
Okay, so maybe I will ask you about the solution. As you said, you try to optimize usage of 5G infrastructure and software and so on. So you try to help not only operators, but also the customers of operators. So if you could tell a little bit more about the functionalities, how the solution really works, what are the steps of helping the operator?
So I think there's two parts to it, right? One is the software or the technical part, and the second part is the training and the coaching that comes with actually educating the operator on how to use it. And we follow, I guess, what we call data engineering principles, right? We're quite agnostic and say we look at the raw data first. And the challenge has been most telcos are not used to looking at it that way, right? We know the technology, we know the RAN, this is how we've do it, this is how we've always done it. So it's kind of a mindset shift to say, well, leave that aside, look at the data. First, let's see if we can visualize your problem, and we use off-the-shelf tools, right? And they're not used to it. It's usually Ericsson providing something or Nokia providing something. So we use Tableau. This is how you see the problem. And this is how you play around with the figures until you understand the problem. And then now you can feed the data into a specific machine learning or I guess what we call labeling, where you try and simplify the problem, right? Because in 5G, especially with the interdependencies with 4G, they're very complex. So we try and simplify by using labeling, but hey, no one's used to labeling problems. So now we got to educate them to label. And then it moves to the next step. Okay, what do we do, right? Okay, now you can cluster and start to narrow the problem down. But you see, we've gone these 4 steps and we still haven't come to any solution. But that's almost how it is for complex interdependent problems. There's kind of no way around it. But so the challenge we have is more the education, right? There are steps, but it's slow, and you can't see value in 2 days. You can't see value in a month. It's a long tail kind of a problem that we're solving. Is that
okay.
sort of?
Okay, thanks. And what's your business model exactly?
It's services and licensing, right, for software. Although what we're finding now is it's more towards the services because there's so much of coaching required. Right? just understanding how to use machine learning and AI for radio.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, you're back.
Yeah, I actually I switched to another PC, but the audio doesn't work, so I come back to this PC again. So many troubles, but anyway, it's maybe time. So thank you very much, Dharma.
Okay, thank you.
Let me invite the next startup,
Yeah, see you soon.
Cloudyboss. And actually, the first startup Attuned and the BPV solutions are from the Tokyo program, but the next startup, Cloudyboss, is from Seoul program. Hello, Joshua.
Hello, Hiroshi. How are you? How are you, everyone?
Please introduce yourself briefly.
Yes, of course, yes. So my name is Joshua Anthony. I'm the Chief of Global Business Development for Cloudyboss and also the CEO of our Korean branch. And I'll make it very brief regarding the description of our company. Essentially, our organization is an enterprise blockchain firm. And for the sake of this program and a use case that we're now specializing in, we're developing a IoT and IIoT cybersecurity solution and device management network solution. And I shall let the video do the rest of the explanation, and feel free to ask me any questions afterwards, of course. Hello, everyone. Today, I will be discussing Cloudyboss's use case and focus of a blockchain-enabled IoT cybersecurity device network management platform. The IoT market is expected to reach 3.9 to 11.1 trillion US dollars by the year 2025, while the enterprise blockchain market is expected to reach 26 billion by 2025, and the IoT segment within the market shall reach around 2.4 billion by 2026, while the global IoT security market size should expect to reach around 36.6 billion by 2025. Due to the ever-increasing amount of IoT device types, software protocols, and the network spreads, IoT networks are becoming even more vulnerable to cyber attacks. By 2022, enterprise APIs will be the most frequent attack vector for enterprises. With enterprise blockchain, many organizations still fail to see the enterprise ecosystem value, which is supported by a lack of trust in ICT interoperability. Our core technologies consist of 4 major proprietary solutions or systems. One is Next Plus, our enterprise engine, which connects IoT devices and visualizes them. Second being our Keystone, which underpins our core stack, ensuring proper data classification and scalability. Sky, being our blockchain protocol, and Anima, our AI engine, which supports backend office automation. EdgeX Foundry is our open source IoT engine, which we have customized within our platform. And the workflow looks like this: device firmware and existing software connect to EdgeX on the device side, then connect to the blockchain on the platform side, then connect to on-chain, thus the devices share data on-chain with permission nodes in the blockchain ecosystem. An example of how the platform connects to a company's infrastructure is as follows. A blockchain node connects to an organization's cloud or on-premise system and instances via the API engine, then leverages the IoT engine to connect to a unified connectivity consensus of different device types while securing the data in the cloud. At a high level, a virtually infinite amount of ecosystems can be managed, thus organizations and IoT nodes and IoT network types, and thus permissions may be set in a very specific manner by organization, by device type, by data, by personnel, so on and so forth. It may connect to virtually any infrastructure in the cloud. And while the platform can connect to cloud infrastructures, it also may connect to ERPs, other platforms using other blockchains, and other bespoke cloud platforms and systems, thus manifesting our data exchange or data port mechanism. Here's an example of the high-level UI of how the data exchange may look, essentially visualizing permission nodes and users, visualizing the data owners and senders and receivers, smart contract IDs, the transaction date, device types, protocols being used, and beyond. And this may be applied to the entire value chain or a specific segment within an organization. In the development of our solutions capabilities, we have examined 4 benchmarks: IoT management platforms, blockchain IoT management platforms and security platforms, and also data exchange and API solutions. And lastly, our blockchain protocol, its major competitor is Hyperledger, and we have found that we are 50% to 100% more customizable, secure, easier to implement than itself. Now, key benefits: a universal IoT device management, universal API engine and data exchange, high-grade device security, simple, inexpensive, and fast deployment, stable, scale-neutral data flow for large device ecosystems, security of digital twins, telerobotics via our single platform. And key industry segments which are benefiting from the solution are manufacturers, logistics firms, consumer-facing infrastructures, and public sector infrastructures as well. Within our 4-pillar business model, we engage in platform hosting, consulting, executive education, and tech acceleration. And for when it comes to the IoT platform, we're delivering POCs in 3 to 12 months, pricing it at 50 to 150 million Korean won per implementation, and thus including PM, project planning, SRS, POC deployment, demos, so on and so forth. Now, we're a team of about 25 full-time and part-time engineers, biz devs, marketers, and other profiles, while having operations in Australia, Thailand, Lithuania, and now in Korea. And we originated our concept in 2014, finalized POC in 2016, while finalizing market readiness in the end of 2018. Thus, for the past few years, been winning client deals, been winning awards, being a part of multiple programs, and are now scaling. Here's a brief snapshot of some of our reputable clients and partners, globally speaking. And here's our major supporters, for whom we immensely thank. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any questions from panels?
Few words quickly. Again, it's Ludwig from the Orange Fab in France. I'm actively working in looking for people that within our Orange organization in France can really be interesting by looking more closely at your solution and eventually starting a test and so on. So far, I had some issue to make people understand the solution, and I have maybe a whole presentation, and this one is much more clear, so it would be great if I can get it.
Of course.
And then restart with these people, because I really believe it's a very interesting solution that really pinpoint something that miss and lack in the IoT connection, which is this security layers that you had to it, and I'm sure we can do something with that. So, but I need more material to work on it. Thank you.
Okay, Ludovic, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I have one question.
Yep.
So you mentioned that you have the Next Plus platform. Can I understand a little bit further? Is that a blockchain platform that's built up of Ethereum?
Yes, as a good question. So just to summarize it in simplicity for the sake of this this call, Next Plus is our proprietary blockchain platform, and Sky is our proprietary blockchain. We're not using Ethereum or Hyperledger or any other blockchain. We have our own solutions and our own blockchain protocol. And essentially, Next Plus is used as an interface, an intuitive enterprise engine that can visualize what data is being shared on the blockchain, such as accounting data, financial data, documentation, IoT device feeds, so on and so forth. So Next Plus is a quite ubiquitous platform that can be adopted to multiple use cases. And in this focus, of course, our duty is to manifest the visuals and statistics and data flow of IoT device networks, and from where they're coming to who they're flowing, so on and so forth. And Next Plus can be customized, of course, on the UI level for the client's needs and interests.
So is it a private blockchain?
Yes, correct. Private permission blockchain, correct.
Private permission. Okay. Maybe we'll touch base again a little bit after this.
Okay, fantastic. Yes.
Thanks. Yeah. No more questions, Hiroshi.
No more questions? Okay, thank you very much. And we would like to move to the next startup, but there's some miscommunication on my side, so still waiting for the next startup. And maybe can we go to Kisvin Science? Nishioka-san, if you are watching this, please join. Or in Sky. Okay, maybe I don't know what to do, but probably let me play the video first and waiting for startup to join on live. And okay, I will play the in Sky. Is it okay?
Our project is InSky Drone Inspection Solution System. We combine drones with artificial intelligence to create a fully integrated inspection platform. The last decade, there are more and more casualties caused by the falling of external walls. Like in Shanghai, it happened twice in March. People are increasingly concerned about building safety. Secondly, let's look at the market. It is estimated that by 2025, the area of glass curtain wall in China will exceed 3 billion square meters. The need for inspection can be expected to increase significantly as the age of service increases. First, let's look at the system structure. The first step, we use the drone for automatic inspection and data collection. Then, Dr. Wu will conduct the identification of defects and generate inspection reports. Finally, Crowd is responsible for data management and data visualization. The first two steps solve the problems of low efficiency and high risk of manual inspection. The last step solves the problems of the data dispersion caused by paper-based recording. At the same time, our drone hardware performance is also excellent. It is suitable for power grid, agriculture, and other places requiring large area inspection. We were featured by CCTV earlier this year as part of Shanghai's digital transformation. The success of the project depends on team efforts. Now I would like to introduce you our founder. Dr. Shi has 15 years experience in aviation and intelligent unmanned system. He was in charge of flight control system of Corma C919, which is China's first large aircraft. Our other core members also have rich industry backgrounds. Mr. Ding, our Research and Development Director, who has 20 years experience in robot integration. Mr. Zhang, he was Honeywell Security Architect, now responsible for the structure of the software platform. Mr. Du, he was Honeywell avionics expert, in charge of the flight control system. Mr. Ruo, supporting the company's marketing system construction. With the development of the company, we have made some achievements in intellectual property, and in only 1 year, we won the title of High-Tech Enterprises. About our business model, enterprise, users, and government, these three parts make up our overall business focus. Among them, we provide solutions for enterprises, service to users, and assistance to the government of regulatory work. In the later stage, we will carry out nationwide market promotion through joint operation. We provide solutions to local curtain wall enterprises, which is responsible for the implementation of the project. Our business consists of solution and service. Solution includes custom-made helicopter, drone system, and platform. Service includes data processing, generating report, and so on. In particular, our gross profit margin is more than 40% for both. With the accumulation of inspection service, we will also collect huge amount of data, such as building height, area, particulate matter, etc., which could be useful in all industries. Finally, our business scope will be expanded. To achieve these goals, our biggest weapon is our core technology. Firstly, unlike exciting two-dimension autonomous route planning, we use four-dimension autonomous flight to detect buildings. Secondly, we have achieved industry-level AI defect identification. Last but not least, we are a digital twin SaaS platform. To sum up, these three elements distinguish us from other drone enterprises. Here you can clearly see the effect of the entire solution. Compared with exciting manual inspection technology, we sharply reduce the cost of manpower and time. To end up, I will show the advantages of project from the competitivity analysis. The first is DJI, the leading drone company, focused on machines planning and selling, where we put more emphasis on software development and industry field. Therefore, we don't compete directly with them. Compared with metro companies, we choose different subtrack, urban infrastructure. Compared with startups, we have our own technical and business barriers. Our slogan is Connect Space with Mind. Thanks for listening.
Yunru, I'm so sorry that I maybe forgot to tell you the change of the order, so I'm so sorry. And could you introduce yourself briefly first?
Yeah, my name is Yunru, and I work in sales and marketing. So, short introduce.
Okay, thank you. And panels, do you have questions?
Yeah, sure, I have a question. So I'm Ludwig, working for the Orange Fab France in France. We have team in maintaining the network. It's a telco network with towers that are using drone solution for inspection, like that already. It's service that already exists for them. I want to know from, because you're a marketing expert here, I'd like to introduce them your solution, but what shall I say in few words that make you different from another inspection drone company? Is there any specificity that I can raise and put on the table that will attract the curiosity of the guy and give him the aim to dig further and eventually to test your solution?
Okay, so the first question is about the difference between our companies and other enterprise, other drone enterprise. So because we have some drone enterprise just make drones, but we have hardware. Also, we have software. We have our AI defect detector SaaS platform. So this is a big difference. And now we focus on the urban infrastructure. It's different for the inspection in other application. So because there are many difficulties in urban infrastructure. And our project is about the autopilot, four-dimension autopilot for infrastructure. And now the exciting autopilot is normally two-dimension, so it's different also.
So what was the service that the AI software provide?
Pardon?
You get me? What are the service that the AI software that you have implemented provide to the end user?
Our focus on the curtain wall, buildings, curtain walls detect. So, for example, there is a wall crack, glass crack, glass missing, or the hardware crack, and any onto the building. It's too hard for people to because now the normal inspection solution is the manpower, and they need
telescope.
Yeah, they need telescope or by foot to search the glass missing or glass crack. But the drone is instead of eyes to find the missing or any detect.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Lucas from Poland. I have also only one question, one simple question. If you use so-called hyperspectral data to analyze the video, we are looking for some kind of solutions with drone solutions. So if you analyze the hyperspectral data, it would be great.
We use our drone is will take picture and video. So maybe the wall doctor will 怎么分析？we have the industry. We have a lot of industry data from our custom. The biggest custom is a curtain wall enterprise, and they provide us a lot of over 10 years inspection data. So our Dr. Wall had learned and training the data from based on this industry data.
Okay.
Okay, it's that's all time. So if you have any other question, maybe please visit their booth later. Thank you very much, Inlu, and sorry about that. And InSky is actually a guest startup from China. Yeah, and the next startup is Kisvin Science from Tokyo program. Hello, Nishioka-san.
Hello, so nice to meet you. So I'm Kazuhiro Nishioka, CEO of Kisvin Science. So thank you for giving us this precious opportunity in the middle of a corona disaster. So I'm a viticulture researcher and also winemaker, and I also run an agri-tech company in Japan. So my life work is wine production and also wine viticulture. But I'm interested in the physiology, plant physiology of all plants, and have been engaged in academic research on more than 150 plants. So today, I hope to have a chance to talk with you guys today about new initiatives. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's play video.
Hello, everyone. We're Kisvin Science, an agricultural startup. We are developing technology to listen to plants. As you know, plants cannot speak like humans at all, right? Recently, smart and precision agriculture have become popular all over the world. But what happens inside the plants themselves has hardly been checked. Most solutions only measure the meteorological environment. You know, we humans are facing a number of serious problems related to food production on a global scale. In order to solve these problems quickly, we humans need to have a deeper understanding of the plant physiology and ecology. When we go to the hospital, the doctor starts the diagnosis with a stethoscope. They also use a sphygmomanometer, right? Yes, we need the equivalent of those healthcare sensors, and we need to use it to listen to plants. Therefore, we have developed a system to diagnose the plant's health based on the water flow in plant body. It's called sap flow sensor. Similar products for academic research are already available, but they are too expensive for farmer use, and it's destructive. Low cost is essential to popularize such a rare device. We apply thin film circuit technology to implement a low-cost sensor and system that is 1/20th the cost of conventional products. This sensor is, of course, non-destructive. This sensor uses heat as its indicator. A thin film sensor with a heater and a temperature sensor is wrapped around the plant to warm it partially. The heat is distributed evenly from the heater to the upward and downward at night or when the sap flow is slow. But under sunny conditions with high transpiration, the heat is carried away by the sap water, and the summer distribution is skewed upward. From the summer distribution around the heater, we can measure the heat balance at the sensor installation point. The sap flow rate can be determined as a physical quantity from the specific heat capacity of water. This sensor can be applied and used on most plants, which has a cylindrical shoots or stems. We have prepared an attractive data logger to comfortably deliver the sap flow data to users. This logger is equipped with a very versatile microcontroller, which allows users to freely change the firmware according to their purposes. In addition, we use a Sigfox Shield as a low-power wide area network that have already obtained the technical standard compliance in each country. So we do not need to obtain the compliance again. This is the reason why we can provide a local system. Service providers who have their own web applications can freely import data through Open API. Please connect more and more to your apps. You can monitor the physiological activity will be possible remotely. Our products are often used as water-saving technology in dryland farming and greenhouse cultivation. There is a physiological trade-off between yield and crop quality, which is greatly influenced by the amount of irrigation. And other applications include quantitative evaluation of the effects of plant growth regulators. Our target priority is, as you can see here, we are trying to find dealers and agricultural service providers to take advantage of our products now. We have a strong desire to make this technology more widespread throughout the world. If you are interested, please contact us. Let's together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And do you have any questions from panels?
Yeah, I have a question. So it's Ludovic from the Orange Fab Friends. Your technology is very interesting, and a few months ago we introduced you to another startup that we are a company in Europe, which is named CBEX, and they were very interesting by your technology and to work with you, but at the time you were not really prepared to go international and to collaborate with other companies. So where are you standing now in terms of capacity to go international and to really sell your product and collaborate with other companies that are working on this field in agriculture?
Yeah, so I'm very sorry that our communication with CBEX has been so delayed. So the last 6 months have been so tough for us. So we managed to make ends meet with consulting businesses, and so we were in critical situation before we signed the MBA. And we were also struggling to climb out of it. The business situation has become so stable for now. So I would like to get in touch with them again. So to move the conversation forward. So please continue to follow up with us, and we look forward to working with you.
Well, you can recontact them because they will be very happy to talk to you, and they are very curious and like to really investigate more and further your solution. They think it's a great solution, so feel free to tell them that you're back on business and you can resume a conversation you had before. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from other panels?
So maybe Lucas from Poland, exactly. I think also that's quite a very interesting technology. But I have a few questions about communication technology, exactly. Which one do you use? You mentioned about Sigfox. Yeah, am I right?
Pardon? Excuse me?
Communication.
I can't hear you.
Do you use a Sigfox? It's a question.
I'm sorry, Nishikawa-san.
The question was if you use Sigfox technology, communication technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We usually use Sigfox, but user can change the telemetry system to other protocols, Wi-Fi or any other Bluetooth or other so yeah.
So Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This is the other ones, yeah.
Other LPWA, any other.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can change the shield. So you can use other protocols.
Okay, so could you also compare your product to the competition? What's the competition exactly?
So no, there's no problem to mount other shields. Yeah.
Competition.
About the competition. What about the competition?
Our competition.
Yeah.
Maybe no, there's no competitor for us because our product is very, very inexpensive, and so other manufacturer is just do business for just academic researcher. We are not for the academic researcher, just for the farmers and other service provider.
Okay, so my last question: are you ready to be on the European market?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we are a little bit behind time, so let's move on to the next startup. Next one is Let's See.
Hi, can you hear me well?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Hi, my name is Indira. I'm from a Korean startup company, Let's See, and in Let's See, we are building web AR solutions. We believe in accessible augmented reality for both creators and customers, people who access AR. And I guess you will learn more from my presentation.
Thank you. As she said, Let's See is from a Seoul program.
Let's See is building stunning web AR environment. And when we say AR, or augmented reality, there are probably a few cool mobile apps are coming to your mind. Some social media apps like Snapchat and Instagram with its filters, some AR games like Pokemon Go, IKEA and Porsche have great apps too. And just imagine with AR app, you can bring real-size Porsche to your own space and even change the colors. However, to build that mobile app, it takes businesses many months and costs a lot of money. And then After waiting and paying, they still need to beg and annoy their customers asking to download that application. And we hate downloading mobile apps. Average person uses same 20 apps every month. Because when we need something online, we don't download the app, we look it up on the web. This is the exact solution we are offering here. Do not build a new mobile app. Do not ask your customers to download it. Do it on the web. And we happen to provide software that makes it possible. Let's See Web AR Development Kit helps you to publish digital augmented reality content on the web. It's a low-code technology, so you don't need to hire new talents. AR experts, your existing technical team, they can do it. It's device agnostic, so it doesn't matter if your end customers prefer iPhone or Android users. We provide frictionless experience. No need to build mobile app. No need to ask anyone to download it. And it's HTML compatible. Means that you don't need to rebuild your digital content. Whatever you have on the web can be augmented as it is. Curious how it works? This car is brought to the real world by Web AR technology. With just one click through your phone's browser. No apps were built, no apps were downloaded. And this is powered by Let's See Web AR technology. You can change colors, you can look at it inside and outside. Cool, right? And you're probably curious about how do we make money. We license our software to digital agencies and service providers and collect the license fee. It's a usage-based subscription. Our significant client list includes many largest Korean corporations in different sectors. You can easily recognize Samsung, LG Electronics, and Hyundai Motors logos here. With our business constantly growing, this year we hit over $1.5 million in revenue, but we are not stopping here. So what's next? We are building a no-code drag and drop AR platform that lets anyone without a technical background customize and publish unlimited AR contents on the web. We are launching this in November at the Augmented World Expo. Who are we competing with? We have indirect competitors, companies that offer AR solutions that require mobile app, and direct competitors, those offering Web AR solution. Our advantages are geographical. We are the only team in Asia offering Web AR solution, and technical. It's only solution offering low-code software, that part where you don't have to hire new talents and don't have to rebuild your content. And we are the only one with the no-code platform that enables users without any technical background to customize and publish AR on the web. Here's the Let's See team. Our CEO is a mastermind behind the technology and author of the registered intellectual property. We have 10 patents issued in South Korea, European Union, and United States. Our team consists of members with solid academic and professional experience in augmented reality, IT business, marketing, and product planning. So yeah, we have a fully functioning team, and we have a working product, and we are on the track to $1 million revenue and getting ready to launch a new product very soon. But now we want to expand globally, and that's why we are here. That's why we need your help. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions here.
Great. Okay. Anyone else? Do you have any questions?
Hi. Spike here. Yep. So the AR objects that you have created, can it be ported to, say, a HoloLens or to another AR device subsequently?
Basically, anything that supports web browser can show this content. So any device that can open the browser, like Chrome or Safari or any other mobile or web browser, can showcase the content published with our software.
I've checked your website. It shows that the business model is based on the number of views, right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's a view-based subscription.
So if I were to download the model and subsequently embed it into like a device where there's no internet connection, I'm just using it for tourism or for whatever, different types of environment, how would that be possible?
No, it's not going to be possible because it's basically a website that brought to augmented reality. You will need internet connection. It's basically opening a website in your browser. However, this website is augmented.
Yeah, and the object sits on your cloud server, right? It's not something that is created and subsequently I will own that 3D objects.
No, you do own. We don't host anything on our own servers. We only provide the software. So because there are a lot of legal problems can occur between countries if we will save the data on our servers, and then the loading speed can be different. If we will serve something like 3D model in Korean servers, that will take forever for customers in other countries to load those. So only software, that's what we provide. We give basically lines of code, and then you can add it to your website, and your users and customers will be able to see the contents. And it's hosted on your own servers.
Okay.
Okay, Lucas from Poland also have a quite interesting solution, but you have quite a lot of also competition on the market. I think about the process maybe, because as you said, the start of showing some AR images, this is the QR code and marker tracking, yeah. But you also mentioned about image tracking. Do you use also some kind of computer vision into start the process of showing AR images?
Well, currently we have updated our product, and the demo that I showed with the car, it doesn't require any marker. So basically you can bring object without tracking any object. You can bring it to the space, into the space. So it can be images. For images, if you're using, for example, AR package, it should be something flat. You cannot use a bottle. But for markerless AR, you can bring it to anywhere.
Okay. And could you tell us also a little bit more about some use cases, about usage of the technology? Maybe not the marketing from the for marketing, but if you realize some projects for some other purposes.
The project that I showed during my presentation, it's for Hyundai Motors. They launched a new car model today. Actually, the project went live today in South Korea. So basically anyone can bring the car to their space in the real size, just like as I showed an example with the Porsche. You can bring it to your space. You can look at it from outside, from inside. There are some animation buttons. You can turn on the lights. You can open the trunk. You can change the colors and see how it looks from interior and exterior. This is one of the examples. Or we had projects for LG Electronics where you reading their magazine, you decided to see how the fridge looks. So you're bringing the fridge into your space and you push the buttons, you hear the explanation of the model. This type of experience are also. And we had a lot of projects, marketing projects for example, food and beverage companies. When you do AR packaging, they did some small campaigns. Those kind of projects we also have. And we also part of you probably heard about the Metaverse Alliance in Korea. And we are developing the Metaverse project too. This is something our team is currently very busy now.
Okay, thank you very much. I need the presentation. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's move on to the next step. Thank you, Indira. Right. And next one is Memorance AI from Taipei program.
Hello, hi everyone. This is Pai Han from Memorance AI, and I'm founder and CEO. And Memorance AI is a company working on digitizing and automate manual operations with AI to improve the efficiency of enterprise operations.
Okay, and let's move to the
Memory Suite is a system to digitize and automate manual operations with AI. Manual operation is very common in enterprises, including quality inspections, regular examinations, information recording. Today, issues of manual operations still exist, such as inconsistent quality, human errors, non-transferable knowledge, and no traceability, and all lead to the financial losses. And now, AI can help. However, when an enterprise wants to use AI for the first time, they will face some issues, such as lack knowledge about optimal data acquisition. Common AI solutions lack industry optimal AI models, and there's no standard. And enterprise also concerns how to keep data and AI confidential, how to integrate AI without efficiency loss, And for small and medium enterprises, they have no AI engineers. How to start using AI? Memory Suite and one-stop AI solutions is to solve all of these issues. It has optimal sensor for digitizations, learnable AI models, no-code systems, APIs, locally deployable to keep data confidentiality, and it supports various platforms. And in the center is our software. It has data management, data labeling, AI model learning, deployment functionalities. It can be coupled with different data acquisition devices, and then the learned AI models can deploy it on different platforms depending on the applications. It is ideal for enterprise with high percentage manual operations or inspections, or for enterprise with automated inspection solutions but accuracy is not that good enough, and for the mobile and edge inspection applications. Currently, our customers are mainly from manufacturing, and medical, and healthcare. We have 1 patent granted and some are filed. We have more than 20 industry-specific AI and are still growing. And we are now official partner with SAP. And let me show you some real cases. The first one is to use AI to improve manual inspections. Before using AI, this company used human inspectors, and human has about 3 to 4% defect missing rate. After using our AI, it reduced the missing rate to less than 0.1% and reduced inspection time by 90%. The second one is to use AI as secondary inspection. Before using AI, this company has deployed automatic optical inspection solution. However, it has a very high false alarm rate, ranging from 50 to 90%. After using our AI, it helped reduce false alarm rate by 95% and improve the efficiency significantly. The third one is mobile AI for the outdoor metal inspection. It helps to reduce the misjudgment rate of human by 27%. And the next one is edge AI computing. Before using AI, this company used engineers to set up parameters for the different production batch, and it takes days. And after using AI, with only a few hours learning and with only 200 images, the AI achieves deployable accuracy. And our system is also tested by the Corning Display Technology Taiwan, and they are satisfied with our AI performance, so their vice presidents also share a testimonial with us. And to sum up, the benefit includes digital transformation, AI-based automation, quality improvement, cost reduction, and end customer satisfaction. There are many solutions for engineers, and there are also many solutions dealing with only AI models. However, most enterprises have no AI engineers. They even have no digital data. So Memories AI is one company deal with data acquisition and AI jointly. And we charge device fee, installation fee, and service fee from our customers. And the market is growing quickly. And the estimated market size will be $100 million in Taiwan and more than $2 billion globally. And our vision is to make AI software as daily productivity tool for enterprise to help them to enable digitalization, traceability, improve quality and efficiency, ensure operational safety, uncover insights, and keep data confidentiality. And we are a startup composed of experienced experts from different fields, including AI, camera systems, edge computing, agri, and business. And we are looking for customers and customer referrals. And we are also seeking local partners in Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, US, and Europe. Looking forward to working with you soon.
Thank you. Panels, questions? No?
Yes. Hi. So I have a question. You mentioned that your platform Memorance, it's no code, right? It's basically GUI based. But I also understand from your presentation that it is primarily a cognitive vision type of analytic solution, right? Computer vision, if I'm not wrong. So how do you do the training for the different types of use cases? Because the two cases you show are PCB, but if I have to do analytics of something else, like a manufactured product defects?
Yep.
How do you train it?
Okay, basically we will design the different AI models for different segments. And if your application is with the AI model we provided, users can use our system to label the data for the first, and then they can use the software to build the AI models themselves, and then do some runs, and the performance will become better and better. And then if the performance is pretty good, they can deploy using our system directly. So user use the AI models provided for that applications to build AI models.
So the question from one of the participants is that the user has to do the labels, right?
Yes, because we cannot hire many experts from different fields, and so instead we provide the platform for users to do themselves, because they know the knowledge of their applications. People like us who are not expert for that applications, so we don't know much about that. So they use that, they know how to keep it on their side.
Yeah, and we will be responsible for the data sources, right? So if we set up the cameras, when we capture the
yes,
we pass it to your platform.
Yeah, you're right. But later it can be separated into two types. First, if this customer or this user has no any data acquisition devices or camera systems, we will help them to build up, because building the data is the first step before using the AI. So building the good data sources and optimal data for your application is a very important step. If you have good data, your AI will be much simpler. And if the customer already have some data acquisition devices and the data is pretty good for the AI, and we will help to check that, and they can start using the software directly.
Got it. Okay.
And others? No questions? Ludovic? No? Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we move to the last startup. It's Nadi Systems from Taipei program as well.
Hello everyone. Bonjour à tout le monde. Vitam. My name is Chris. I'm responsible for the product management at Nadi. Our company is in the business of 4-dimensional data visualization for management of operations and infrastructure. We're looking for either investors or partners. We already did the round A of investing, and right now we are at various different events for raising again. We are looking at raising $5 million USD right now in some time over next 6 months, and expand regionally a little bit. But I believe you can first watch the video and then have some questions.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris and I'm in charge of product management at Nadi System. We are Taipei-based company of 50 plus people. We've been in business nearly 5 years now. We are in the business of 4D visualization for management of operations and infrastructure. We are currently focusing on smart building and smart manufacturing markets, and we are heading into the smart city domain. At this moment, we're also incorporating Malaysia and Thailand. Originally, our revenue was driven by project delivery, but these days we are venturing into licensing and software as a service business models. At a system integration level, we've worked with industry, government, military. We have few products. 3D OCMS is a flagship therein. OCMS stands for Operations Central Management System. There is also NCS, think of it as a hub/gateway/router for IoT. Geographic Information System is like Google Maps, but with 3D building infrastructure management aspect. We also have proprietary patent pending tech for intelligent video analytics. Here is how our 3D OCMS looks like. It is a very high level system. It sits above many other systems such as SCADA, ERP, CCTV, HVAC, to name just few. It uses on-scale 3D models of physical infrastructure and allows our users to manage buildings and equipment following the digital twin paradigm. Sensor data, camera feed, remote control, all is fair game here. It also monitors all the data on a 24/7 basis to detect anomalies and dispatch alerts. It can be used for monitoring, managing, and troubleshooting physical infrastructure and operations, but it can also be used for simulation, validation, and planning. It can run natively on a GPU-grade desktops for maximum rendering power, as well as in a web browser for a less graphic-intensive, lighter experience. Next year, we're going to offer it as a software as a service on a public cloud. Now you're looking at our geographic information system. Here, too, physical infrastructure can be managed similarly to OCMS. Buildings can be expanded on the map, and you can look into the internals of what's going on in there. And all this runs in a web browser. Here is a project we did for seaport management in Taiwan. Ships can be tracked real-time. Data can be accessed from vessels, warehouses, and other objects. This one is a project with Microsoft for managing their new data center in Taiwan. In addition to what a typical DCIM software can do, we also enable broader context of a building, a compound, or even a geographical zone. Multi-site operations can be managed this way in a very intuitive way. Something a bit more fancy. This is how we are approaching the smart city market. Local governments are still waiting for the industry to come with a proposal for how to actually implement smart cities. We are already building these kind of experiments with photorealistic renderings of cityscapes. Here is something more practical and more marketable, a video surveillance system built on top of our maps. We've been really busy. During the first year of business, we've already delivered successful projects. On the second year, we've delivered projects for manufacturing and security surveillance. We've also delivered projects abroad. In Singapore, we've delivered a project for Changi Airport. And later that year, another project in Thailand, a war room for manufacturing. In 2020, we've delivered our 3D OCMS for Foxconn Smart Factory in Wisconsin, USA. This year, we've worked with Far EasTone in China for their Shanghai headquarters smart building project. We sincerely hope you find our products interesting. Please reach out and let's explore opportunities together. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have questions, panels?
Okay, maybe I will start. Łukasz from Poland. Chris, could you tell us a little bit more about smart factory solutions? Because you mentioned a lot about smart cities, smart buildings, and so on. But you mentioned also that you've done a lot of projects regarding the smart factory. As I probably know it is about some digital twins and so on technology. But if you explain us a little bit more about these projects.
Sure. Typically, what happens is we are working with some other partners for implementing this kind of Industry 4.0 smart manufacturing projects. And we are responsible for the last mile part of the total solution. Last mile because there are other systems beneath, and some other contractors might be actually delivering some other systems. Also, even though we have the capacity, but typically some other partners and contractors will do the all IoT integration. And then we come at the last mile and we plug all of these other systems, SCADA systems from very close to the hardware all the way to some higher level systems, even things like IoT platforms like ThingWorx from PTC, which we are partners with. And we build this kind of OCMS special flavor for manufacturing when people can see the model of the factory floor on scale. And not only that can be visualized, but it can also have hooked up some sensors to see, for example, where people are, employees are on the factory floor. Also, there's a special variant of our solution that is directed directly at information screens, dashboards, or kind of war room, a kind of control center when there are multiple video walls. And we have this kind of interactive or non-interactive dashboards. So 3 possible scenarios typically we work with. Sometimes we only implement one of them, sometimes many. And for us, we just we help to sell the success story of these other systems. Why? Because IoT is completely necessary to go for these projects, absolutely required, but it doesn't sell well. There's no wow effect to it. On the other hand, in the presentation layer, there are things that are extremely attractive to look at the demo VOC, like virtual reality, and very practical. So we are in the middle. We make it look beautiful. We make it look really high-end, high-tech, modern. So it looks like from Minority Report movie instead of something from 1999, and that helps to justify the entire expense on digital transformation to the shareholder, to the board of directors.
Okay, of course. Thank you very much. Also, one question: your products are available on the Asian market, yeah? So, do you consider also to be on the European market? Is it the aim for you?
It is not only aim. We currently already not European, not yet, but we already exist on markets outside of Taiwan. Now we are approximately 50 people. And we are based, there are few of us, just literally a couple of people somewhere else, but most of us are in Taipei. And for us, the challenge right now would be not with delivering the software, because no boundaries for that, just over the internet deliver something. The problem right now will be to find a partner who can help us in 3 ways to enter another market. These 3 things are, first thing is help us with customer support locally. The second thing is help us with the integration of IoT. So if a customer for a project needs to, needs to have some data, they first need to integrate it. Sometimes they can do it themselves, but typically we don't see that. So we need a partner for that. And that's actually, there's plenty of partners who can do that. But the third thing that we need that is a little bit more tricky is some partner who have capacity of 3D modeling. So the thing is, before you can see this final outcome that looks all great and everything, somebody has to do the work. Sometimes the people will have 3D models because, for example, when they purchase a factory recently, the entire company who was doing the engineering, the construction, they already have these BIM models. So sometimes that's much easier. Sometimes they don't. So if we want to go to other markets and we are really loaded with the projects here close to us, we need some help with this. And after these 3 types of help are, realized, there's no other reason we wouldn't be somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I understand.
Yeah, you were talking about going to cloud and distributing your solution as a SaaS platform on the cloud. So where are you standing on that? I mean,
first, I want to say that the solution on the cloud will be different segment and different target. From the one that we're doing. And the reason why we're doing it, you asked me where we're standing, but just want to give you this information, this context. The reason why we're doing this thing is because our revenue was coming from things like system integration, like project implementation. It's very, very difficult because your number of your employees becomes your direct bottleneck in how you can grow. So we want to move to the cloud, offer software as a service. So it's much easier to grow the business. We don't have to hire necessarily more people to generate more sales and sell more licenses and subscriptions, etc. However, first your question, where you're standing on this. We will have an internal beta, let's say, version of it the end of the Q1 of next year. We already have engineering version of it working. And release, originally we were planning half of this year, we were planning to do the release right around that time. Probably right now we're thinking we will push the release a little bit further to end of Q2. Now, one more thing that I wanted to say about this business model. The solution that we sell right now is quite pricey. Not everybody will go for this kind of solution. Certain markets are just not part of our target, like typical end users, customers, they won't because the price is at a different point, right? But if we go to the cloud, then we might suddenly exist in the markets that we didn't consider, like.
Oh, it stopped.
It's because of Danny.
Maybe.
It just appeared instead of the guy.
Yeah. But he's completely stuck. So, hello, Chris. Can
Yeah,
you?
he's back.
Sorry, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
we
if this
hear
was. Not sure if that was on my end or what I wanted to say that the cloud version will be less in terms of features because
Okay.
the price will be completely different.
The point is maybe it will be a different market, as you said, because when you go to cloud, you lose a little bit like the security aspect of your software, and security is important, especially with the information carried on the platform by all this IoT and so on. So it will be, yeah, most probably a very different segment of usage and maybe customer that will go for the solution.
Okay,
Right,
so
thank you
far,
very
for
much.
example, we noticed that most of our projects are such that there's no allowance for a public cloud. It's just simply not a possibility. But the private cloud is a possibility. So we have for our software as a service, it will also be possible to deployed on premise on private cloud of customer. Like for example, data center of Microsoft, they're using Azure, but it's still not the same Azure that everyone else is using. It's kind of private branch of it.
Okay. No, because we also have as a company, as I'm working for Orange, an Orange Business Service Cloud, which is a cloud offer. It can be a public or private cloud for customers, but it's something to consider in terms of business development if we go to solicitate these people or others. But thank you very much. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe that's all. So let me close the pitch session here. And for audiences, please visit their booth. And if you click the Expo button on the left, you can go into the booth of the startups. So please spend your time. It will be open until 6:30 p.m. Japan time. So we still have 45 minutes. So please visit. And also panels, thank you very much for joining us. And you can also go to the booth to continue the discussion with the startups and ask more questions. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining.
Thank
See
you very much.
Bye.
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 It was a very good session. Thanks.
Thank you.